she was like, yeah, we're all getting a $25 fine to this month's rent. And I'm like, hold up. How we all getting fined for your BS? Like, it don't make sense. Been telling you this. It's in the leasing paper telling me you are 21 years old. You grown. But you want somebody to remind you what to do.
Damn, Mizzy Mari got beats.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lashay, and today, as you can tell by the title, I am going to do a story time on how me and my other roommates almost fought our old roommate before she moved. Very chaotic. I mean, I don't know, this story, it's funny, but it's not, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, but I don't want to say too much. But before we get into this video, make sure you guys like this video. Comment down below any other ideas or video ideas you want to see, like story times, whatever y'all want to see, I'll put it up. But yeah, make sure you guys do that, and also turn on those notifications because you don't want to miss when I post again. So yeah, I'm gonna start from the very beginning, just because so we can make sense of the full story, or my side of the story. I'm thinking about getting Gabby's side, recording her side, but it's if y'all want to hear her side, because she was friends with the girl before I even knew both of them. So I think it'd be right to have her view of the story and then mine as well. So it just makes sense. Yeah, so I met Gabby this past May in 2019. We had a class together that past summer, and we became friends from there. She had told me that they had 2 spots available in this apartment, and I was like, because I was thinking about moving over here anyway, because I didn't want to live on campus again. I didn't want to go home, and I was like, okay, at least I know somebody. So I think it was Memorial Day weekend, or I think it was that Friday before Memorial Day. I came and, applied. I got approved right away, signed my lease papers and everything. Like, I was set. So I texted Gabby and I was like, hey, I got in, just so she could know that I was going to be one of the roommates. So we're going to fast forward to about June, July. I had messaged one of my other friends and was like, hey, because I knew she was moving too. And I was like, hey, you want to move with me? I ain't going to say the name, to A Apartments, whatever. And she was like, I'm thinking about it. I had to see. And at first she was like, nah, not really. But then after a while she was like, yeah. Because the place she was staying at was starting to BS. So I was like, okay, just go sign your, apply and all of this. Put my name down as I referred you. And she did that, and she got approved the same time. So everything was pretty much going smooth. Like, everything was going smooth. So August came. Now, move-in day, I don't know if I told y'all this in my previous videos, but I was not here move-in day. I was actually on vacation in Florida, so I didn't move in until like 3 days after move-in day on a Saturday. So when I got here, I think everybody was in the living room chilling and talking, and when I got here, they was like, hey, they were very welcoming, very nice. So I think I had came and checked out my room and everything, make sure everything was good, because I had got my key and everything. So I came and checked on everything. I went back to my parents' house, because at the time they were already busy doing something else, and I had a bunch of stuff. If y'all saw my room tour, it's a lot of little things that had to be moved, so I waited on them. So I didn't officially move in until probably about 8 o'clock that night, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I got my keys at 1. So, anyways, everybody was chill. I mean, it was very quiet here at the same time, so it was very peaceful. At the time, we got along. So, I was like a week or two later, school started, and I necessarily wouldn't say the cleanliness was okay at first. But what was the first strike, or the first trigger to me, was that the trash. Like, the trash can be fine, like, and then it would, it'd be full. When it started overflowing, then she would create another bag of trash, and then it would overflow. Like, When I say overflowing, it was like pouring outside of the bag on the floor. And we had a dog, or it was her dog. So you know how most animals or dogs, whatever, like to ramble in trash. So I would leave for class in the morning and work, and then I would come back in the afternoon, and you would see trash everywhere. The apartment was stinking. I was like, yeah, this isn't me. Like, I wasn't raised like this. We had dishes overflowing in the sink, all of her dishes. Um, it was just, it was something different that I wasn't used to because I was raised as the sink should be clean, dishes should be washed, and all of that every night. So, and trash would not overflow. So, me and my friend, I'm gonna name her A. We're just gonna put a letter on each roommate. So, besides Gabby. So, A, me and her was like, I don't know what it is or what. So, me and A was talking, was like, I can't live like this. Like, I thought they said they were clean. They never had this kind of problem. So we bought it to Gabby. And she was like, And she was like, I'm grown. I don't clean up behind nobody. I said, I agree with you because we all grown in this apartment. So, so at the time, her and our old roommate, I'm just going to call her B, they were friends at the time. So and I didn't know this till after everything went down. So it turns out she was pretty much lying, telling Gabby that me and A weren't clean. It was us the whole time. We just went washing dishes, went taking out trash, everything. So once me and A sat down with Gabby, and she was telling us this was y'all the whole time. We was like, no, it's her. So once Gabby started seeing how B was, she was like, yeah, it all makes sense now because she used to blame it on the old roommate. And I was like, makes sense. So after a while, it just started getting bad. She would leave pizza boxes on the floor. She would leave Sonic cups on the dining table. She would leave food out, wouldn't wash her dishes, wouldn't take her trash out. She left her room wide open all day unless she was at home. Because the excuse was that her dog, she didn't want to leave her dog closed up in her room. That was the excuse. But as the semester started going on, she had an odor out in her room. So, like, every time she would open the door, the odor would come out. So, if we mopped, swept, cleaned the kitchen, burned candles, incense, whatever we did, it would be temporary. So, every time we would do that, the smell would come right back. And it was hard. And not to mention, we had gnats. Like, when you have gnats in your house, you know it's nasty. So, I was fed up with it. I was like, I can't do this. I was telling Gabby, and she was like, I never knew this. I thought she was telling me it was y'all. I was like, no. So, I would say everything really started falling downhill about October. We had a group chat. It was all four of us in a group chat. Okay, so we created a group chat August 18th. I think it was the first. No, it was the day after I moved in. And we was all cool. We started off good. And not to mention, Gabby and B had the same birthday. So, of course, they were, like, very close and whatever. So, that was good. And then, I think so we have the messages. I think some of the messages are missing. But, Friday, August 30th, I don't know why I was at 3:30 something in the morning. I don't know who was up. But she was like, I promise I'll clean the kitchen and living room tomorrow. I've been up since 2 a.m. yesterday, so I'm going to get some sleep. So at the time, we was like, okay, that's cool, because it was all cool. So the kitchen never got clean until like a week later. Now, mind you, I did my part. Everybody cleaned up after themselves. It was her doing this, and we didn't, it was just nasty. So, okay, so September 5th, this is when the next incident happened. So, we would, every day we would come home, and it would literally be something on the floor, or the dining table, or the bar. And it's like, can you not, it's the little things that get me, I think. But we were all fed up at this point. And she would just leave stuff like, she would leave wrappers, cups, like styrofoam Sonic cups. If you know the trash can is right there, why can't you just put it in the trash? So, we had actually was like, you can come get your stuff. She was like, yeah, it's from my room. I just haven't came and got it. A week passes by. She still hasn't got it. So, September 7th, me and roommate A wanted to throw a kickback. I think we had been in school maybe 2 weeks, and we was like, we're just trying to, relax, chill. Gabby at the time, I don't think she was in town, or she was going home that weekend. Her excuse, okay, so roommate B's excuse was, I'm going to a party tonight. And then she came back the day of. She was like, can we do the kickback next weekend? I don't feel comfortable leaving the dog or my door unlocked while I'm not home. Now, mind you, she leaves her door open. She left, my bad, left. She's not here no more. She left her door open every time she would leave. It would be wide open. Now, mind you, the first thing you see when you walk in the apartment is her room. So, of course, people are going to see your room. And she didn't want her room to be open or unlocked while she was gone. But she can go to school, work, and all of that, and her room can be wide open. I mean, it didn't add up right there. So it was like, cool, okay, but we still had a kickback regardless. Okay, the next incident was September 12th. Everybody knows I like sweets. I like to cook. I like to bake. So I had a bunch of cake mixes, brownies, cookies, cake mixes, whatever, mixes. So this person wants to type, she would crave something, or she would want something, or she would want what you have, but she wouldn't replace it, or, she was that type. So that day she was like, whose cake mix, brownie mix in the pantry, and can I use it because I don't feel like leaving I don't feel like putting on, she pretty much didn't feel like leaving the house to go get something. I said, it's mine, but she never said nothing else. So, Monday the 16th, this is when the trash starts to really irk everybody's nerves. So roommate A was like, so who's gonna take the trash out? The overflowing trash. And I put, me and A, I said, we take out the trash multiple times and washed all the dishes because of the smell and the gnats in the house. I'm over it. So B puts, I can do it tomorrow. And then she was like, Gabby is also sick, so can you please be quieter? I can hear you loudly in my room. And I'm like, what is she talking about? Because me, I never have anybody over. I'm literally to myself. So, what are you talking about? So Gabby replied back and was like, any dirty dishes that I have, I load in the dishwasher, which I know she does. But it really wasn't directed towards her, it was directed towards B. And she was like, I clean behind myself. I have a trash in my room, whatever. And she was like, I'm an adult, I don't clean behind everybody else. And then roommate A was like, well, we're all busy, whatever. That's understandable, but it's easy to grab the trash on the way out. Okay, so around October 1st, at this point, everybody was just pretty much tired of her. It was just constant BS and constant lies. So we would literally be in each other's rooms talking or chilling, or we have people over. And it's not that loud in this house. And she keeps commenting. She was like, hey, I have a test that I'm studying. Can y'all please be quiet? And at this point, it's like, come on. Instead of you texting the group chat, you can't just easily knock on my door or whatever, whoever door you was talking about. Like, come on. Literally, I don't know, it was just like beef at that point. And she was like, well, can we have a house meeting 9:30 Monday night? He was like, yeah, we really need a house meeting. Now, so the house meeting happened, y'all. And it started off very calm. I can say that. But living with a house full of girls, other girls that have, I don't know, like, different personalities and attitudes, it didn't last long. It escalated very quickly. Like, y'all, it was a lot of yelling. It almost led to a fight. She asked for the meeting. She was like, I'm looking to sublease for my apartment. So if you see people in my room, that's why. I was like, cool, whatever. And I said, what's the point of having the meeting if you don't move? Like, that, it didn't make sense to me. It didn't. She was like, because I refuse to be treated like a dog until I move out. I don't give a shit if y'all don't like me, but this petty stuff is annoying, so I'd rather have a clear boundary so I don't have whiteboard notes for me. Now, whiteboards, we have a whiteboard in the kitchen, so she never would respond to text, and she didn't want to be confronted in person, so we would leave notes on the board. So after the first and second note, she started to get irritated, and then she was like, I feel like this has been directed towards me. I just feel like y'all are bullying me at this point. On and on and on. But really, we want you to understand that this house is for 4 people, not just one. She was like, y'all made rules the other night and didn't tell me, then got mad when I didn't know what they were. But in reality, we never made rules. We just say, can you clean up behind yourself? Like, it's the simple fact. Like, come on. So, I'm going to try to post pictures of all the things we dealt with up over here, just because y'all can see. I'm not going to post nothing too disturbing. I'm trying not to if I can find them. One day I came out the kitchen. It was like Saturday morning, and she was cooking. And I'm like, she hasn't been grocery shopping lately. Everything in the refrigerator is not hers. So I went to the lunchroom because I don't think I was going to close that morning. And she was cooking pancakes, eggs, bacon, all of this. But the thing was, it was none of it was hers. She was cooking off of my eggs, my bacon. She was cooking roommate A's pancakes and using her syrup and all this. Didn't ask. Now, I don't know how y'all would feel, but I was like, what? Because I feel like if I pay for the groceries and it's for me, why are you eating somebody else's stuff? Now I can see if you asked, and they said, yeah, but she never asked. So I went and told roommate A, I was like, hey, she using our stuff. So roommate A put in the group chat, she was like, hey, I really feel like you shouldn't be using nobody's stuff, especially if it has initials on it. So we initialed pretty much everything in the house when we first moved in, just to have a clear understanding, like, hey, you know what's yours, you know what's not yours. So yeah, we got into a whole argument about that. October 31st. Well, she left the group October 24th. Then roommate A added her back, and she was like, I know you're not on good terms with any of us, but we still have to live together, so just stay in the group chat. So we went to the office, the clubhouse, maybe 3 or 4 times, and filed a roommate report, which means they pretty much, it's just, it gets filed on your chart or whatever. I think once you have 3 offenses, you get fined or whatever. So we filed because she was nasty, dirty, didn't want to comply with us. Like, she just didn't care regardless. So we got a letter pretty much that they inspected our apartment and it was nasty. And we had 72 hours to get it together before they all charged us. So we all pretty much told her. And then she was like, what do we need to do? Now, mind you, we are all 20 and up in this house. So, what do you mean what you need to do? Like, aren't you an adult? I shouldn't have to tell you what you need to do, especially if you're on your own in an apartment. Come on now. Didn't make sense. So, then November comes along and she just starts stealing stuff or just doing petty stuff to get at us. I guess to get us worked up to fight her or try to do something so she can report. And it just kept piling up. And then we also had a time where she would wash clothes, leave it in the washer for days at a time and would forget. We would have clothes to wash because I really don't touch nobody's stuff. Like, I wasn't that type, so I'd be like, hey, roommate B, can you please take your clothes out the washer, put them in the dryer, or whatever it was. And she was like, I won't be home until midnight. And so Gabby was like, your clothes have mildewed in the washer and it smells. I don't know how many times I have to tell you to clean up behind yourself for you to get it. We're all busy, so that's not an excuse. And I was like, thank you, because it's not. And I said, we've had the house meeting and it still hasn't improved. So that is the next step. It's just like, well, can y'all please come to me with requests instead of running to the leasing office and telling them. And that's when I was like, yeah, we've tried that. Nothing is helping. So that was the next step, to go to the leasing office. And to the leasing office of the meeting we had, that there was no mention of it. And yes, it's a common area violation. And then she was like, yeah, we're all getting a $25 fine to this month's rent. And I'm like, hold up. How we all getting fined for your BS? Like, it don't make sense. So we pretty much started going in on her, cussing, everything in the book. So roommate Ed was like, oh, so you recorded this without your permission. And she was like, I don't need your permission to record. It's in the law that if a person feels that the content of talk can be used against them, they can do that. And I was like, is it that deep? So I was like, well, you can record all you want. I said what I said, period. It's common sense to have respect for your other roommates. We all live together at the end of the day. I was trying to be nice to the girl. And then she was like, if you have something to say, I would have moved it. I mean, it's really so simple. And I was like, roommate B, we've been telling you this. It's in the leasing paper. Like, I don't get it. She would leave stuff on the balcony. And most apartments do this. I'm not sure if all of them do. But most of them say if you leave stuff on the balcony that's not furniture-wise, you get fined for it. So we would literally tell her just about every week, hey, roommate B, get your stuff out the balcony. Can you move out the balcony? She never would comply. It was always, I'm busy, sleep. So we would tell her, she was like, well, they did an inspection. They didn't comment on it. And I was like, so you're telling me you are 21 years old. You grown. But you want somebody to remind you what to do in your own place. I said, how does that work, huh? One day I walked in the kitchen. I think it was on a Saturday as well. I had walked in the kitchen. I think I was about to cook breakfast. I walked in the kitchen and I saw her scrubbing a dish. But you know, when you wash dishes, it's a little sud on the thing. It's either sud or some water. So all I saw was her holding whatever it was and a sponge. I didn't see any water dripping, soap dripping, nothing. She just scrubbed it. I'm like, I don't see nothing on it. I'm like, is she washing dishes or trying to wash clean dishes with no soap? Like, we don't do that around here. So I'm like, huh? So we was like, if you're gonna wash dishes, make sure you use soap. And she was like, I do use soap. I don't waste it. I just put it on the sponge and rub it. Now, what person do you know that does that? Like, come on, we don't wash dishes like this around here. So that was another thing that happened. Right before she moved, I think we were having company over. Or some sort. Or it could have been the smell that was getting to us. We was like, can you please close your door? Because we're fed up. Like, the smell is disgusting. Your room is so dirty and filthy that people do not want to see us when they first walk in. So roommate A was like, I'll do you a favor and close your door, since that is also mentioned in the office. C said it was alright. That's one of the leasing managers. So I said, also for the second time, can you please turn your TV off and turn your lights off when you're not here? I said, I'm not paying for any more overages. So we would literally have an overage of like $15 extra each month, adding on to our rent. Now, mind you, utilities and stuff are included inside of our rent, so I shouldn't be paying extra. So her excuse was, I can't close my door since I have a dog, and she gets nervous when things happen and ruin my door. And she's like, unless you're gonna pay for my door to be fixed, don't close it. So roommate A closes it anyway. And the thing is, she was perfectly fine. So this is the night the second or third meeting happened, and it went completely left. So we were all in the kitchen, you know, we was like, we fed up with this. We started hiding our dishes. Cause she couldn't clean dishes, couldn't wash dishes. We started hiding food, everything. So we were just talking, and then she walks in and she was like, you said what? You can say it to me. So we all just going ham, like just slapping her, not slapping her, but like just going back and forth with her, cussing. And the whole time she was recording us, but what she didn't know, we had another source in the apartment that was also recording the situation as well. So she just walks in and we just go ham on her. And I don't remember honestly to this day what the argument was about. I just knew we were all fed up with her and we were just going in. Like, all I remember, we was like, we fed up with you. We just can't do this no more. Like, it's this simple to be clean and everything. So at this same time, I forgot I had ordered DoorDash food. So he knocks on the door, was like, so I got my food. And I honestly, we all felt like he was probably scared to even knock on our door because it was that loud. Like, we had people next door coming on, so was like, hey, y'all alright? Because, like, it was so loud. It was 3 girls arguing with another girl. A bunch of yelling and cussing. I think I still have the audio. So the next day, I think we were all arguing, this is the same day, I think. We were all going back and forth with her. Now, mind you, I had left the house to go run an errand. She was in here in her room. I come back, she's sitting in her car. So when I go upstairs, everybody else is upstairs, and they was like, where is she at? And I'm like, she's in her car. So instead of her being in the apartment to just talk, she would rather go through the group chat and go back and forth over a keyboard. And I'm like, if you're going to talk all this, BS, you can come in the house and talk it. Because, like, at this point, we was all fed up, like, literally. You don't understand how fed up we were. So her excuse was I had to be at work. But 30 minutes later, she came back in the house, and that's when everything started. Didn't understand that. So the next day, she went to the leasing office. She reported the voice memo of us in this meeting, supposedly, or us in the kitchen going back and forth, cussing and everything. I think she took some screenshots, but nothing was too, how to say it? It was nothing that was a threat to her life. We never threatened her. We never threatened the dog. Nothing. It was just like, please be grown up about it. So let me see. So, we later got a call, or roommate A went to the office, I think, and it was like, yeah, she filed a bully report on y'all. It's harassment. Since she feels like her life's in danger, we're gonna move her to a different unit. It was like, really interesting. And it was like, yeah, she only has maybe, was it 2 or 3 days to move out of the apartment? It was like, okay. So the next day passed by, and all of a sudden housing's like, yeah, we're gonna give her an extra few days since her mom can't help her move. We're gonna give her a week. We like, what? But if it was me, you would give me them 2-3 days. She would go to the leasing office. She would literally she pretty much wouldn't tell her side of the story. She would only tell bits and pieces to make it like we're the bad guys, like we're just angry black women. So, every day she would come in and grab 1 or 2 things and leave back out. And then times we weren't here, she would pretty much try to steal stuff, or it'd be like dishes, like simple things. She hardly ever cooked anyway, but she would try to steal stuff. We would leave stuff certain ways so we could tell she came in. Like, it was just horrible. So she eventually moved out, and I think it was like the next day we were gonna ask for new keys, because she still had keys to the apartment. She also had somebody else staying with her at the time, so they had a key. So she sure enough had access. She still had access to the apartment. So we called up there, and they was like, yeah, no, we're not gonna switch the locks, and if you do, it's gonna be a $50 fee. And I was like, it's not right for somebody to have that. And then the property manager was like, oh, I feel like y'all will be okay. She's not gonna do anything crazy. And I was like, how would you feel if you moved into a new place and someone had the keys to your place that you didn't know? So Gabby's mom called, and blah 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 happened. And then she called back. She was like, yeah, we're gonna get your keys. We're gonna get your apartment rekeyed. All of this. So pretty much the leasing office and everything was on her side, and pretty much trying to make it seem like we were the bad guys. We had literally tried to have a meeting with the leasing office. We literally had the screenshots, the voice memos. We had everything. We had all the proof there. Cause we were right. Like nothing. I don't think nothing really was bad on our end. Maybe if we were more mature about it and wouldn't really cussing and stuff, maybe. But we pretty much had all the proof that we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't threaten her. We didn't bully her. It was just straight facts. Like, can you please be an adult about it? But she didn't really want to be an adult about it, so we took it to higher authority. So, to this day, the funny thing is, they moved her across the street to the other building, so you still see her around. And then every once in a while, she'll try to come over here or try to park over here and walk back. Was it Christmas time? Yeah. Christmas time, I was walking out the apartment and I hear a car like coming full speed, and I'm like, who is this? And once I turn around, it's her. She was trying to run me over, and it's just like, seriously, we think she has a psychological problem because it's still some BS. But to this day, we all have her blocked. She can't come in contact with us. Ever since then, it's really been smooth. We really haven't had too many problems after that. Like, we have a new roommate now. She pretty chill. Like, we really don't have any problems. She was just a nasty roommate. It was just a bad experience. We had to literally fight. We had to really fight to get her out ever since August. And she moved out in November. So, it was just chaos. We just had to keep fighting. We were literally about to take it to court because it was getting too much, and it was just starting to cause a bigger problem than it should have. We really wish that the leasing office would have handled it totally different. It would have been mature about it, and not just hearing one side of the story and running with it, because like they portrayed us as angry black women, and I was like, y'all are overreacting, but in reality you would feel the same way if you had a situation we had. So in the end, we all pretty chill now. I mean, I really can't say much else about the situation because that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try to get Gabby's side of the story soon. I know my side was pretty long. I never met the girl before we moved in. You know, I thought it was sweet, but yeah. I'm gonna try to get Gabby's side of the story, and then possibly my other roommate's story. I'm gonna try to, but if not, y'all know my side of the story. Like I said, I'm very sweet, forgiving, and very caring. Like, it takes a lot for me to go off on somebody, so when I'm mad, you know I'm mad. So, but that's pretty much it for the story. If you want to hear more story times, or what, like anything y'all want to see, comment them down below. If I want to see my freshman year, or if I want to, hear about my freshman year story time, comment down below and let me know, because I can tell that one. I still remember that story like it was yesterday. Horrible experience. But yeah, this video is pretty long, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. If you guys liked it, give it a fat thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and then turn on those notifications because you don't want to miss any of my new uploads. So that's about it. I will see you guys later. Bye.